We stand at a crossroads, a pivotal moment in our planet's long history. The decisions we make now will echo for generations to come. Imagine looking up at the sky, a sky that is no longer the brilliant familiar blue we have always known. Instead, it is a pale, hazy white. This is the potential reality of a world reliant on solar radiation management, or SRM. A world where we have chosen to treat the symptoms of our planet's fever, rather than the cause. The psychological weight of such a world is immense. It is a constant visual reminder of our failure to act decisively, a permanent haze that clouds not just our skies, but our very spirit and our hope for the future. This engineered sky would be a source of profound and unending unease. Every sunrise and sunset, once a moment of natural wonder and beauty, would become a symbol of our artificial intervention. The very air we breathe would feel different, managed and controlled. This disconnection from the natural world, the one that has nurtured us for millennia, would leave a deep void in our collective soul. We would live under a perpetual veil, a reminder that the world as we knew it is gone, replaced by a fragile human-made imitation. The feeling of living in a planetary-scale experiment, with no certain outcome, would create a constant, low-level anxiety that permeates every aspect of our lives, from our daily routines to our deepest dreams. The emotional toll extends beyond simple anxiety. It is a form of quiet despair. Knowing that the blue sky has been sacrificed creates a sense of loss that is difficult to articulate. It is a grief for the planet itself. Children would be born into this world never knowing the vibrant colors of a natural sky. They would learn about it only in pictures and stories, like a mythical past. This would fundamentally alter our relationship with nature. How can we teach our young to love and protect a world that we ourselves have so visibly altered? The constant presence of this artificial sky would serve as a powerful and depressing monument to our hubris, a sky that tells a story not of wonder, but of compromise and loss. Living under such a condition would mean accepting a state of perpetual uncertainty. What are the long-term effects of spraying particles into our stratosphere? Scientists warn of unforeseen consequences, from altered weather patterns to damage to the ozone layer. This lingering doubt would hang over us, just like the artificial clouds themselves. The feeling of being subjects in a global experiment, one from which there is no easy escape, would be a heavy burden to bear. It changes our fundamental sense of safety and security on our own planet. Our home would no longer feel like a natural sanctuary, but a managed system, fragile and at risk from our own well-intentioned but potentially catastrophic interventions. The fears associated with solar radiation management are not abstract. They are deeply personal and touch upon our most basic needs for health and safety. The very particles we would pump into the atmosphere to dim the sun could pose direct risks to human health. We do not fully understand what breathing in these microscopic substances, day after day, would do to our lungs and our bodies. The potential for increased respiratory illnesses, cardiovascular problems, and other chronic health issues is a terrifying prospect. This fear would be inescapable, a silent threat present in every breath we take. The very air, our most essential source of life, would become a source of worry, transforming our homes and communities into places of potential harm. Beyond the direct health risks, there is the profound fear of irreversible change. SRM does not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. It only masks their warming effect. This means that the underlying problem, the root cause of climate change, would continue to worsen in the shadows. The oceans would continue to acidify, threatening marine life, and the planet would remain fundamentally out of balance. This creates a terrifying scenario known as termination shock. If we were ever forced to stop our SRM activities due to unforeseen side effects or geopolitical conflict, the planet's temperature could soar rapidly, unleashing a level of catastrophic climate change far beyond what we are experiencing today. It is a gamble of unimaginable proportions. This engineered world would also sever our connection to the natural rhythms of the Earth. The quality of sunlight would change, which could have unknown effects on agriculture and plant life. How would our crops grow under a dimmer filtered sun? What would happen to the delicate process of photosynthesis that underpins nearly all life on Earth? The fear of widespread famine, caused by our own attempt to control the climate, is a very real possibility. The natural world is an intricate, interconnected system. Pulling on one thread, like the intensity of the sun's rays, could cause the entire tapestry to unravel in ways we cannot possibly predict. This unpredictability is a source of deep and abiding anxiety. Furthermore, The loss of our blue skies represents a profound aesthetic and spiritual loss. For all of human history, we have looked to the sky for inspiration, for navigation, for a sense of the infinite. It is a source of art, poetry, and wonder. To trade that for a uniform, milky white haze is to rob future generations of a fundamental human experience. This fear is not just about physical survival, it is about the survival of our culture and our spirit. The anxiety comes from knowing we're creating a less beautiful, less inspiring world. We would be living under a constant, oppressive ceiling, a visual representation of our diminished horizons and our fear-driven choices. A world less wild and far more worrisome. The implementation of solar radiation management would usher in an era of collective grief. This is not just sadness, but a profound sense of mourning for the natural world we have lost. The safety and joy of the outdoors would be forever changed. Simple pleasures, like a walk in the woods or a day at the beach, would be tinged with the knowledge that the environment is no longer truly natural. The light filtering through the trees would be different, the colors of the landscape subtly muted. This loss of authenticity would create a barrier between us and the natural world, making it harder to find solace and rejuvenation in places that once offered it freely. The feeling of safety in nature would be replaced by a sense of unease. This grief would be deepened by the devastating impact on biodiversity. The very web of life is threatened by our changing climate, and SRM, while masking the temperature, does nothing to solve the root causes like ocean acidification, but it could also create new problems. Changes in regional sunlight and weather patterns could disrupt ecosystems in unpredictable ways. Plants might not flower at the right time for their pollinators. Migratory animals who rely on cues from the sun could lose their way. We would be witnesses to a slow, inexorable decline in the richness and variety of life on our planet. Each species that disappears would be another wound, another reason for our collective sorrow, and a stark reminder of the cost of our actions. This shared sense of loss has a name: ecological grief. It is the sorrow felt in response to experienced or anticipated ecological losses, including the loss of species, ecosystems, and meaningful landscapes due to climate change. Under an SRM sky, this grief would become a daily reality. We would mourn the loss of clear starry nights, hidden behind a permanent stratospheric haze. We would mourn the changing seasons, as their familiar patterns are disrupted by our interventions. This is a heavy emotional burden, a feeling of helplessness in the face of such monumental change. It is a grief for our home, a sense that the world is becoming less vibrant, less alive, and less welcoming with each passing day. The most difficult aspect of this mourning is the knowledge that it was a choice. We had other paths we could have taken. SRM represents a decision to manage a crisis rather than solve it, to apply a planetary bandage instead of healing the wound. This knowledge would fuel a sense of regret and even anger. The grief is not just for what we have lost, but for what we failed to protect. It is a mourning for our own lost potential, for the healthier, more sustainable future we could have built. Living in a world diminished by our own hand is a profoundly sorrowful existence, a constant reminder of a deep and tragic failure of stewardship for the only home we have ever known. Solar radiation management presents itself as a quick fix, a tempting solution to the terrifying rise in global temperatures. However, it is a deeply flawed and dangerous illusion. The fundamental problem with SRM is that it does nothing to address the root cause of climate change, the immense and ever-increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. It's honestly like taking a painkiller for a broken leg. The pain might lessen for a while, but the underlying injury remains, getting worse over time. While the SRM shield might cool the planet's surface, the carbon dioxide we continue to pump into the air would keep acidifying our oceans, dissolving the shells of marine creatures, and collapsing entire aquatic food webs. Furthermore, SRM is a technology that completely lacks a safe exit strategy. Once we begin, we may be trapped in a cycle of dependency for centuries or even millennia. The moment we stop spraying particles into the stratosphere, the full accumulated force of the massed warming would be unleashed upon the planet. This termination shock could cause global temperatures to spike so rapidly that ecosystems and human societies would have no time to adapt. It would be an unprecedented climate catastrophe. The immense responsibility of maintaining this artificial shield, without fail, would be passed down through countless generations. It is a burden of unimaginable scale, a technological lock-in that mortgages the future of humanity. The governance of such a powerful, planet-altering technology is, honestly, a geopolitical nightmare. who gets to control the global thermostat? Would one nation or a small group of wealthy nations have the power to decide the climate for the entire world? What might be the ideal temperature for one country could lead to devastating droughts or floods in another. The potential for conflict is enormous. Unilateral deployment of SRM could be seen as an act of aggression, leading to international disputes and even war. The technology, intended to save us, could instead become a weapon that divides us, creating a world of climate haves and have-nots and sowing distrust on a global scale. In the end, SRM is a profound distraction from the real work that needs to be done. It diverts precious resources, scientific talent and political will away from the genuine solutions that can restore our planet's health. It offers the false promise of a technological get-out-of-jail-free card, encouraging continued reliance on fossil fuels and delaying the necessary transition to a sustainable economy. By focusing on this high-risk, high-stakes gamble, we risk ignoring the safer, more effective paths that lie before us. It is an approach born of desperation, not wisdom, and it steers us toward a future that is more fragile, more contentious, and fundamentally less natural than the one we must strive to build. But there is another way. A path that does not involve gambling with our planet's future or dimming our skies. It is a solution that works with nature rather than against it. This solution is found in a remarkable, naturally occurring molecule, the hydroxyl radical. Often called nature's detergent, hydroxyl radicals are the single most important cleaning agent in the Earth's lower atmosphere. They are created naturally when ultraviolet sunlight reacts with water vapor. For millions of years, these tiny, highly reactive molecules have been scrubbing our air clean, breaking down pollutants and greenhouse gases like methane. They are the reason our atmosphere can cleanse itself. The problem we face today is that we have overwhelmed this natural cleaning system. We are producing pollution and greenhouse gases far faster than the atmosphere can naturally create hydroxyl radicals to break them down. This is where a new nature-based technology comes in. Hydroxyl dispersal is a method of supplementing the atmosphere's natural cleaning power. By gently dispersing additional nature-identical hydroxyl radicals, we can accelerate the breakdown of harmful pollutants. It's not about introducing a foreign substance into the air, but simply restoring a natural process to its proper balance. It is like giving our planet's immune system a much-needed boost, so it can heal itself. The way it works is beautifully simple and elegant. When a hydroxyl radical encounters a methane molecule, for example, it swiftly breaks it apart, initiating a chain reaction that ultimately converts the potent greenhouse gas into small amounts of carbon dioxide and water vapor. This process is incredibly efficient. It not only removes methane, which is over 80 times more powerful at trapping heat than carbon dioxide in the short term, but it also neutralizes other harmful pollutants like nitrogen oxides and ground-level ozone. By restoring the atmosphere's natural oxidative capacity, we can clean our air and stabilize our climate simultaneously, tackling both air pollution and global warming with a single, gentle touch. This approach stands in stark contrast to the brute force method of SRM. It does not mask the warming, it reduces it by removing the gases that cause it. It does not require us to dim the sun or risk unforeseen consequences on a planetary scale. Instead, it carefully restores a vital natural cycle. It is a solution that is both powerful and subtle, working in harmony with the Earth's own systems. Hydroxyl dispersal offers us a way to undo some of the damage we have caused, to clean up our atmospheric home, and to step back from the brink without resorting to desperate and dangerous measures. It is a breath of fresh air, both literally and metaphorically. The choice before us is clearer than it has ever been. On one hand, we have the perilous path of geoengineering, a future of hazy skies, perpetual risk, and a planet kept on life support. On the other, we have the promise of hydroxyl dispersal, a future where we work with nature to restore its own remarkable ability to heal. The practical benefits of choosing this nature-based solution are immense. By cleaning the air of pollutants and methane, we can expect immediate improvements in public health, reducing rates of asthma and other respiratory illnesses. We can bring back our brilliant blue skies and the vibrant colors of the natural world, restoring a fundamental source of joy and inspiration. Financially and practically, hydroxyl dispersal is far superior to other proposed technologies. Direct air capture, which pulls carbon dioxide from the air, is incredibly expensive and energy-intensive, requiring vast infrastructure. Solar radiation management, while seemingly cheaper upfront, carries incalculable risks and the hidden costs of managing a planetary-scale intervention indefinitely. Hydroxyl dispersal, however, is a technology that can be deployed affordably and scaled up as needed. It leverages a natural process, making it far more efficient and far less risky. By investing in this technology, we are choosing a solution that is not only effective, but also economically sensible and environmentally just. We must therefore urge our leaders, our policymakers, and our investors to recognize the profound potential of hydroxyl dispersal. It is time to shift our focus and our resources away from high-risk gambles like SRM and toward solutions that offer genuine, holistic restoration. Supporting the research, development, and deployment of hydroxyl technology is an investment in a stable climate, in clean air, in public health, and in the resilience of our ecosystems. It is a proactive step towards creating a safer, healthier world for all. This is not a matter of partisan politics. It is a matter of our shared survival and the well-being of all life on Earth. We must act with courage and foresight. There is still hope. We do not have to accept a diminished future under a milky white sky. We possess the ingenuity and the wisdom to choose a better path. By embracing solutions like hydroxyl dispersal, we can start to heal the wounds we have inflicted on our planet. We can restore the delicate balance of our atmosphere and allow the Earth to breathe freely once more. Imagine a world where our children can look up at a deep blue sky, breathe clean air, and marvel at the richness of life around them. This is the future we can build. A future where humanity has learned to act not as the master of nature, but as its humble and intelligent partner. That is a world worth fighting for.